Okay, I have not yet understood why we have two different categories when studying. For instance, we have something we call over here. Let me show you. We have this. We have the functions of instrumentation system and measurement systems. And then we have the indicating function, the recording function, the signal processing function, and the controlling function. Is it even visible? The indicating function, the recording function, signal processing, and controlling function. And then after that, we go to the application of instrumentation and measurement system. And then these ones are categorized into 4 broad categories. For instance, monitoring, a process, or operation. And I have not understood that, and I feel pretty damn bad. And then we have control, and then we have the experimental engineering analysis. So in my bid to understand engineering analysis, I would imagine that one is, when you talk about function, I would imagine that function is what something does, and application is how can we apply what that something does. So function is what it does, and because over here we have now the functions, and I was feeling confused because under the function we have indicating, let me write them as one. Indicating, we have recording function, signal processing, and control. So these are the functions of an instrumentation and measurement system, and these are the application. So I was getting confused. So I think that is the difference. So under monitoring a process of application, we can the one of the same examples you can still have is a speedometer. So a speedometer will just tell you what speed you're going at. So it is just monitoring a process. We can also have an ammeter and a voltmeter, things like that. And then after that, we have the control, a control process or application. So if we know something, we can control how much of, we can manipulate it in a way that we can control it. For example, we have the way our homes can be regulated using humidity, the AC in a car, the way you can set your temperature so that it doesn't in your home, so that it doesn't even exit a certain point. So I do not know if the diagram in my notes is important, because I'm just trying to revise in a way that I talk and record, so that I can come back to this when revising for my exams. My exams are in February. So there's this diagram under the control thing, and here we have a controller, and this controller goes and tells us what is this control element. For example, temperature or pressure or something. Then we have the process. Then we have the measurement. And then we have this CM. I have no idea whether this block diagram is significant. So how would I explain this diagram? The input of the controller is the reference which corresponds to the desired value. The output process variable compared to the reference of the desirable. I hope if someone will maybe stumble into this video, they can explain to me, but I will try to understand. In fact, if I was recording this for myself, I should have tried and done some research. But yeah, that's it. So under experimental engineering analysis, there is something that was in my notes. It was something about discussing the procedure of the experimental engineering analysis. Experimental engineering analysis, which is an application, an application of the instrumentation and engineering analysis. I mean, an application of the measurement and instrumentation system. So, among the procedure of carrying out the experimental engineering analysis, we first obtain the solution. You obtain the solution, and in this solution, we do it in such a way that we have a mathematical relationship with the analogies. After you obtain a solution using mathematical relationship with analogies, you can generalize it. You can generalize the empirical relationships. After that, you go to step number 3. You ask yourself, what is the validity of my theoretical predictions? What is the validity of the theoretical predictions? After that, you generate basic engineering data on the properties. And then I'm seeing I'm running out of space, so I can just slightly. Then number 5, you design process equipment, and then we finally have optimization. I do not know if this is examinable, but this is really the engineering experimental procedure, experimental engineering analysis procedure. I do not know if I have skipped some steps. I don't think I have. And now we can look at other applications. Now, these were the applications that were put in property under a broad category. But now, when you think of applications of our measurement systems, you can think of things that happen in the basic world. For example, now stop thinking about the system itself. Now think about a measurement system alone. How can we apply it in the real world? A measurement system. Just the basic applications. Now we can have things like battery fluid level. When you want to measure that, you look at the field. We have stuff like atmospheric pressure, TMP, they have things like um, radar, because I was even talking about I was talking about aeroplanes. Yeah, so that's it.